By day, he was a wealthy man driving a Maserati, but by night, he secretly entered his neighbors' homes to steal. As another wealthy man, he knew exactly where these rich people would hide their valuable items. He skillfully took a bundle of cash. Even when he heard the alarm, he wasn't fazed. This affluent neighborhood had its own police and security personnel, but since the crime rate here had been zero for so long, he only needed to lie a little to get away with it. The man changed into a set of pajamas, pretending to have just woken up. At this point, a group of police officers were already waiting outside.
Hi guys, is everything okay?
Good evening, sir. You live here?
Yeah, I sure do.
The police believed he was the owner of the house. However, the house had been placed on a vacation monitoring list. They were curious about why a Honda was parked on the street, and why the lights were still on in the room.
That's my son's car. I told him to pull it into the garage before we left.
So you are going on vacation?
Oh yeah, bright and early tomorrow morning. My wife must have given you the wrong date when she called it in.
No worries. Have a great trip.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it.
The man successfully avoided the inspection. This was his second time stealing, and he carefully selected his targets, all wealthy homes. In addition to gaining wealth, this was also his form of revenge. He had become a thief because everything he had once owned was stolen. His name was John. He had once been an ordinary man, living in a cheap apartment, but through hard work, he had accumulated more and more wealth. He married a beautiful wife and had children. Finally, he had become an elite. However, one day, when he returned home, he discovered that his wife had cheated on him, and he lost custody of his children. He went to a nightclub to relax, only for his colleague to tell him that John had been fired from his company. The reason? He had an affair with an employee, but in reality, they didn't even know each other.
Man, I was just looking to get laid. How many problems do you have with that?
The company had fired him based on a no fraternization clause, stole all of his client information, and froze his assets in the company. This experience fueled his desire for revenge against the wealthy. At a party, he entered a wealthy man's storage room. John opened a drawer and found many expensive watches and cash. This was John's first theft. When he returned home and looked at the stolen goods, John gradually became addicted to the feeling.